We realized like that we could create a community without feeling like we were like pulling teeth to get people to show up.
Yeah, I wanted to talk a bit more about community and the highs and lows there. And I think as we grow, we change the communities we work in or we live in or we interact with and the people we interact with. And I've done that as I've grown. Like, for example, I built Kip's Dip Society, and that became a community. I used to go dipping like 3 times a week, and then to now not being in that location and not being connected as much with that community, but still needing a community. I don't know the percentages, but I think your life can be limited by not having community. Like loneliness, dying from loneliness is a thing. And so that's the only thing I would say we do believe is that we're all on our own unique journey and we're better together and we can share those things and help bring collective things into reality.
I think the morbid stat is you lose like 7 years of your life.
So,
Something traumatic, yeah. You definitely lose a few years when you have a community that fulfills your needs, fulfills your support, and it's not just leaning on one person or the people that you live closest to. How full of a life do you live? How long of a life do you live happy and healthy? We
and
attract
so
different people at different stages of life, and I don't think that it should end up being a Facebook group that dies or a WhatsApp chat that dies. Like, how do we amalgamate all of this? We're good at gathering people. We're good at empowering people, and we love it, and people love it. And so, how do we continue to bring those people together? One of my favorite parts is introducing someone to someone else, and they learn something from that person. They create a friendship or they create something together. And it's such a beautiful thing to witness and to breathe life into collaboration and bringing people that aren't from familiar worlds together.
and Lumisol, like you said, was always beyond Vancouver. It was never tied to a location, or it was tied to multiple locations.
Yes.
And it wasn't just about events, but because of how we'd seen other communities modelled in Vancouver, for example, that's where we went first. So
Same with
there was
me. And we even walked into a store in Glastonbury when we were in the UK just visiting, and I heard this woman talking to the customer service lady, and she was saying, "I'm gonna have a retreat center in Portugal," or it was Italy or something in Europe. And so it was just constantly winks of everybody wanting to, everyone talking separately about collaboration is the way forward, but then everybody saying, "I'm gonna have my own retreat center." Where like they need to merge, they need to come together. We can't do this on our own. And so we had to navigate what it looked like as we're doing this as a duo now. Because to be honest, there were sometimes we would post things and the way it was landing in Vancouver, some people would be like, "You're a cult." Especially if there's like two people in a relationship that are running and hosting the events, it can look a certain way. And so, how do we make sure that the brand and the voice and the community speaks before we do? And there was people standing up for us in the comment section. And so that was definitely a learning curve at the very beginning.
Vancouver was this incubator for the community to start. And in Vancouver, there's a lot of events and communities like Lumisol. And that's why Lumisol was born there, because it's a place where that can happen, but there is a lot of competition and saturation versus like you go back to my home town, my home city, Hull.
The events and being in Vancouver and the success that we did have there, we took it seriously. Like we had our
Too
branded
seriously.
sweaters for the retreat. We did booths, we did the events, we had facilitators come that were experts on certain areas. We were taking it very seriously. And the thing was is that we were starting to, one, both we love to travel. Two, um, but we both love to travel. Two, we're both starting out our businesses going all in.